We have some absolute massive things to talk about with Space Marines. Games Workshop have put out brand new videos. They put out brand new statements, new models. It confirms the rumors. It goes even further than some of the rumors. This is absolutely wild. Sit down, relax yourself, because Space Marines are changing in a massive way. This is probably one of the biggest changes since the introduction of the Primaris Marine. Maybe it's even bigger than the introduction of the Primaris Marine. So let's jump in, let's look at it, and of course, let's get waffling. So let's start with the big rule changes and some of the confirmation and some of the rumors that have been circulating around the internet for the past couple of months. There is a big video that GW released. I've initially done a first reaction to that over on my stream. If you're going to watch that video, then watch it. But basically, I'm going to break this down in this video and go over some of my thoughts, my feedback, on how big the Space Marine stuff is changing. One of the main things to take from this is that Space Marine strength and their toughness are changing in a big way. So they are going to toughness 5. There was a rumor that was circulating a couple of months back from a chap saying he had a friend who was a playtester, and his playtester friend told him that Space Marines, or should I say the Tacticus, was going to go toughness 5 along with variations of the bolter. And you can see now in this brand new rule system that they put out, we can see that bolt rifle focus fire is actually going strength 6, AP -1, damage 2. So technically, if you're fighting against the Imperial Guard now, you are wounding them on 2s. Again, the normal bolt rifle fire, you get 2 shots, and that is strength 5, AP -1, but 1 damage on there. But this is a massive change now, especially in the toughness, because with the general Space Marine going to toughness 5, that's now starting to bump up the general toughness in all the other Space Marine units. And I personally think this is going to be now a cascading effect. So, for example, with those guys going to toughness 5, it mentions in this article that Terminators are going to be going to toughness 6. Does this now open the door which Gravis is going to go to toughness 7? Because one of the advantages of taking Gravis was that it was an extra toughness over Terminators. We're looking at this now potentially with Terminators having toughness 6, Storm Bolters, right, which are going to go strength 5, and there's some speculation out there that Storm Bolters are going to be getting AP 1, because in this video that they've shown off, there was a data sheet that was shown off. I'll actually put it in the background of the video right now, and it showed off bolt pistols with AP -1. Now, bolt pistols are AP 0 at this moment in time. So if bolt pistols are getting the extra AP, does that mean Storm Bolters are going to be getting the extra AP as well? Could we be seeing a squad of Terminators deep striking down with Storm Bolters at strength 5, AP -1? That is just absolutely madness when you sit here and think about it. The amount of firepower that you can put out with a Terminator squad, and that's just the firepower. Then, of course, you charge in with your Chain Fist, your Power Fist, causing absolutely just destruction. And, of course, Terminators, they have a 2-up save and a 4+ invulnerable save. With toughness 6 now, on top of that, these things are going to be absolutely devastating. And that's just the generic Terminator. Let's not start talking about the Deathwing, the Wolf Guard, because potentially these could be even more powerful and even more devastating. And of course, Games Workshop in that trailer, I keep going back and forth on this, mentioned when the Codex does drop, they are going to do a digital data sheet for the Space Wolves, the Dark Angels, the Blood Angels, the Black Templars. They also mentioned the Grey Knights in there. They haven't mentioned the Death Watch as of yet. Maybe that's something they forgot to mention, but no Death Watch mentioned yet. So when that stuff drops, I'm sure we're going to be seeing a lot of big changes happening to all the other chapters that currently have their rules right now. This is absolutely massive changes. In the video, they mentioned the reason they wanted to do this is because they want the Space Marines to feel like a more veteran-y force, more dynamic, more tankable, more just powerful on the table. And to counter that, of course, the rules are going to be going up. You're going to have less models on the tabletop, but your force is going to feel a lot more powerful as a Space Marine. I'm interested to see how it all works out at this point in time. Now, like I said, this is going to cascade into other things, not just Space Marines as well. What does this mean now for factions like the Custodes, Death Guard, Sisters of Battle? Is their toughness going to go up? Death Guard, are they going to start getting extra toughness on their Plague Marines? Custodes, of course, they're toughness 6 at the moment. Are they going to go to toughness 7 or something to counter what the Space Marines are going to be getting? There's a whole plethora of questions now that go into this off the back of the Space Marines are going to be getting. Like, I've been hearing things like Death Guard are supposed to be getting Cultists. Does that mean that the Cultists are going to be like, and, well, I say the Cultists and the Poxwalkers are mainly going to be the main things you have in a Death Guard army, and then when you have, like, Death Guard Marines, are they going to be like the elite stuff of that army now? So you're going to have less Death Guard stuff in there and more like chaff units. Absolutely no idea where Games Workshop's going to do with this. There's just so many wild things that people are discussing, talking about now off the back of this article. And let's jump back over to the article, because again, another big thing in here is all the legendary things, and this is where we're going deep and down with the rumors, because I've been waffling about this now for months and months and months. People are calling me names. People are calling me out. Varrak knows nothing. Varrak's this, Varrak's that. He's just doing this for clickbait. He's just doing this to get people wound up and stuff. I don't do anything for this for clickbait. If anything, I hear something, I get hyped about it. I want to talk about it because I'm a massive Space Marine fan. And sadly, one of those rumors that I was saying I don't want to come true has happened. Not everything in the rumor thing happened, but most of the stuff. So let's start with the legendary proxies. So if you have a tactical squad, a devastator squad, suppressor squad, Pedro Cantor, or Uriel Ventress, you can now have these as legendary proxies. Thanks, Games Workshop, for, you know, saying how I can use my models that I spent all my money and time on. I appreciate that. So tactical squads, they're not going to legends. You can now use them as an intercessor squad. Same with a devastator squad. You can count them as a desolation squad. Suppressor squad counts as an inceptor squad now. But of course, these are all down with the permission of the event organizers. I'm going to say this right now, gents. I'm going to see most tournament organizers say no to this, because it may cause a lot of drama on the tabletop, because a tactical guy is a lot smaller than an intercessor, and you can hide him behind terrain and do a lot of other shenanigans. Like, if you're playing with your friends, play with your friends. Do it as you always do, right? Rule of cool. But in tournaments, I'm probably going to say most of this is not going to be allowed. Uriel Ventress and Pedro Cantor, they've killed Uriel Ventress, in my opinion. Uriel Ventress is a better, more cooler, more legendary Titus. But like I've been saying, Titus is the main face now of Warhammer 40,000, so they're just going to use him as the new Uriel Ventress. Everything that Uriel Ventress did, Titus has now also done. Uriel Ventress did it better, but of course Titus is newer, so he is going to be like the main new captain now of the Ultramarines. It's a sad day for Uriel Ventress. He's a legendary character. Thank you, Gray McNeil, for all those amazing books about this character. Maybe one day he will return. Pedro Cantor, I've been tooting my horn like Pedro Cantor is getting a brand new model. I still believe that. The rumors are telling me he's still coming. It's still happening. Next year, Crimson Fist, Pedro Cantor. Apparently it's happening. Do I believe it? Yes, I believe it, because I trust in the rumors. Just because I trust in the rumors doesn't mean that you should trust in the rumors, right? Believe what you want to believe. I think Pedro is still coming. Now, this is the big one. The Warhammer Legends, Centurion Devastator Squads, Razorback, Predator Destructor, Predator Annihilator, Vindicators, Whirlwinds, Stormhawk Intercessors, Storm Talon Gunship, Storm Raven Gunship, the Hammerfall Bunker. They took away my defense platform. These absolute bastards, right? How could they do this to us? Again, going back to the rumors, this what was stated to me. Apparently, well, not everything happened when it comes to the Legend stuff, because I was hearing the Firestrike turret was also going to Legends as well. That didn't happen. And the Mario Kart for the Primaris Marines was also going to Legends. That didn't happen. So 2 of those things in the list that I mentioned didn't happen. But the rest were absolutely bang on. So I want to break this down. Centurions, yes, gone the way of the Dodo. The Razorback, the Predator, Destructor, the Vindicator, the Whirlwind. all the Firstborn tanks. Again, I've been waffling about this, and the reason why I think this is going the way it's going is because of that brand new Rhino rumor. If anything, this confirms the brand new Rhino rumor, because all these models are built on the Rhino chassis. The Razorback, the Predators, the Vindicators, the Whirlwinds, they all use the base Rhino as that tank. What does this mean going forward now? Just because we get a new Rhino, does that mean we get a new Razorback, a new Predator, a new Vindicator, a new Whirlwind? I haven't heard anything like that at this moment in time, but I wouldn't bet against it. Let's get the brand new Rhino out the way first, and then let's come back and let's do a new Razorback, a new Predator, a new Vindicator, a new Whirlwind. Some questions that was asked today in chat, what does this mean for stuff like the Bal Predator? Well, I personally think when they get that Codex update with the digital stuff, when the Space Marine Codex drops, the Bal Predator is going to go into Legends as well. That's just the way I see it, gents. So if you've got your Bal Predators now, I think it's also going to go the way the Dodo, as we're seeing here. The Stormhawk Intercessor, the Storm Talon Gunship, and the Storm Raven Gunship. Technically, if you go to tournaments right now, because Legends, you know, it's mainly based for tournament play. If you go to tournaments, Space Marines don't have any air support anymore, unless you want to bring a Thunderhawk, which I don't think anyone in their right mind will, but who the hell knows? So this is a big, big, massive change as well. Again, what does this mean going forward for, like, Grey Knights? They use a lot of this. How's this going to cascade into their stuff? There's so many bloody questions off the back of this, which I wish I had the answers to at this moment in time. Hammerfall Bunker, I don't know why. Well, do you know what? They could have saved this. All they had to do in the rules is give the Hammerfall Bunker the Deep Strike. Games Workshop, sort your absolute head out, right? That's all you had to do. Give it Deep Strike. We even saw it in Space Marine 2, Deep Striking down and assisting Titus and his squad. Why couldn't you have done that on the tabletop? Is it that hard to change a keyword? Absolutely. They don't know their left from their right. Their ass from their elbow. I don't know why the Hammerfall Bunker's on there, but again, it is a sad, sad day for me and my defense bunkers. One thing they did confirm in the video as well is that the Space Marine Codex is coming out in October. Again, if you watch my rumor video today, there was someone saying that the Space Marine Codex was delayed. Apparently that rumor is false, because I was saying, of course, I haven't heard that from my rumor sources, because I predicted that it's going to come out in October, and GW have now confirmed that it's coming out in October. So there we have it. Big, big, massive Space Marine changes. This is just the tip of the iceberg. Again, we've been talking about this all night. This is going to cascade into so many things, so many bigger things. Like, what does it mean for Chaos Space Marines? Right? The Predators, the Rhinos and stuff like that. If we do get a new Rhino for Space Marines, are they going to get a new Rhino for Chaos Space Marines? Surely, right? It should happen. They loot Space Marine stuff. Why don't they get access to Rhinos and everything like that? When's the Rhino going to come? When is the new Land Raider going to come? Something very, 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 very interesting in this Codex Space Marine video, if you watch it, the guy presenting it, Edda, is actually wearing a Land Raider t-shirt. I think that is a massive hint that a brand new Land Raider is also confirmed a part of these rumors. The rumors, all the whispers that I was getting about this, we're saying that we're getting a brand new Land Raider and a brand new Rhino. The Rhino rules are going to change because Primaris Marines are going to be able to get in the Rhino and stuff like that. Again, I mentioned it in today's video. There is massive, massive things now happening with the Space Marines. I'm kind of exhausted. I'm kind of shocked. It's like, is this a good thing? Is this a bad thing? Are Space Marines going to a smaller force a good thing for you? Personally, I prefer playing smaller games. So if I have a smaller force, I don't very much mind it. You know, if the game's balanced, all for the better, then yeah, I'll take that. But a lot of people like to have massive Space Marine armies. Is that a bad thing for them? Again, a lot of people had a lot of this stuff in their Space Marine armies. Is that a bad thing for them? Again, I keep saying again, right? Again, Rack. Just because it's Legends doesn't mean it's officially dead. Legends is getting a place on the Warhammer app, which means you can still add it to your armies. You just can't play it in tournaments. The majority of us are the cool kids, right? We don't play in tournaments. We have personalities. We have friends, right? We don't have to be forced to play against someone. We can meet up on a Friday night and play against our little friend group and enjoy ourselves. So don't worry about it. I think the only thing you should be worried about is, are these going to go out of production as models? That is the big, big thing to discuss now. Like, our Centurion model is going to stop being sold. Razorback stop being sold. I'm going to say 90% yes. So if you haven't got these models, if you want these models, if you want to add another one to your armor, I'd say go out and get it now, because I think them as models, physical models, are going the way of the dodo. The rules will be there in Legends. Again, massive, massive, absolutely huge shake-up now when it comes to the Space Marines. Like I said at the start of the video, this, for me, is probably one of the biggest shake-ups that has happened in a long, long bloody time, ever since the Primaris Marines first got introduced, because in a way, this is kind of the phasing out now of the Firstborn. After this, there's hardly going to be anything Firstborn in that codex. Yes, you can have them as proxies, but I'm telling you, the next Space Marine codex, that won't be a choice. They'll be gone. They'll be gone. So this is the start of the end now for the Firstborn. It's taken, what, 9 years? But we're finally at that hurdle where the Firstborn are being officially phased out of the game. That's my take on it anyway. Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. I'm going to have loads of videos coming out next week all about this, because there's so many videos to talk about. I want to talk about the Grey Knights and how it's going to affect them, and the rumors about the Grey Knights and the refresh about the Grey Knights, of course. I want to talk more about the Death Watch. I want to talk about all these other factions. What does it mean now for Black Templars? Sword Brethren potentially going toughness 5. 10-man Sword Brethren blobs. How powerful and disgusting is that going to be? Is that going to be a game breaker? There's so many things now to talk about this, which is going to be an absolutely wild bloody time. So if you're interested in that, I'm going to have all the videos out this week, firing them out one by one, and we'll have a nice little chat and a nice little waffle as we always do. Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. I know I've got this video out a little bit late. I've been out all day with the family, but I appreciate you here. I appreciate you watching. If you like my content, subscribe. If you don't, I guess don't subscribe. If you do like it, thumb me up a softer. I appreciate you. See you in a bit. Have a great day, week, night, wherever you are in the world, and bye-bye.